So today we're going to be replacing my brakes, pretty much upgrading to the cts-v 4-piston brakes with drilled and slotted rotors. And of course this is the steel braided line Russell kit to go ahead and upgrade my brake lines while I'm at it. Should have a heck of a difference in stopping compared to what you got from the factory on the GTs. Of course, if you can't see, my rotors are pretty toasted, and of course my brake pads are just about gone, so I figured if I'm going to do my brakes, I'm going to upgrade them to something better. So that's why I'm going with the 4-piston cts-v brakes up front. They also have the 6-piston brakes, but finding wheels that they'll fit is a little more difficult. So most people go with these 4 pistons because 4 pistons, they look good, they stop well, and they're not as much as the 6-piston ones. But I'll definitely leave links in the description so you guys can go check them out and get you a set for your car. So I'm gonna get started and show you the process of how to get everything done and do it the right way. So at this point I have gotten my rotor off and the caliper off, and since I'm going ahead and doing my lines, I'm gonna just disconnect it from there and then put the new line in and connect that line to the new caliper. But one thing I want to talk about right now is a lot of people like to say that you have to drill these holes out for the cts-v brake setup, but you really don't have to. What you do is you go to the GM parts store. I haven't found anywhere else that you can get them unless you go through a GM part place, but these are the bolts that you'll need for the cts-v brake upgrade. There's the code if you can see it, but definitely don't have to do any kind of drilling out the hub or anything like that, or the knuckle. And as you can see, they go right through perfectly, and they will bolt up to the cts-v brake setup. I've got a bracket on the back side of it right now from where I was mocking it up for a different type of vehicle. But and of course these Russell steel braided lines, they're real pretty, and comes with a new bracket of course, and makes it very simple for you to install them. The kit actually comes with the front and the back, so you can go ahead and do the back too if you'd like. I'm not doing the rear Brembos yet, but that's next, because I mean you only use about 20% of your back brakes unless you're braking really hard. So other than that, I'm going to start installing the new, and let you know right now the size for the stock bolts to get the caliper off is a 18 millimeter socket. So pretty simple. Since you're doing it this way, you don't really have to worry about pulling this off of the actual bracket. You can just go ahead and pull it all off at the same time and save you some time. So alright, so I've got the new one on. I've got the new caliper, sorry, new caliper, new rotor, drilled and slotted. Be sure when you put these on, you put them the correct way, so they are the way that they need to be. I'm going to go back and make sure that I've got this one right. Pretty sure I do, but just want to be sure first. And of course, I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's the new bolts in there. I hadn't tightened it down yet. I've got my brake line in, the new brake line. I'm just letting it drain down right now, get fluid going through that line, because I'm going to put brand new fluid in it, drain all the other out. I'm going to vacuum bleed these brakes, so so they are the way that they need to be. It's much easier to much easier to vacuum bleed these brakes than it is to have somebody get in there and pump the brakes up for you. Other than that, I'm going to get back to it and let you see the finished product. Alright, so I've got everything bolted down, got it tight, got my brake line in, got the brake line connected to the rotor, or to the caliper, I'm sorry. All that's ready to go, and of course we got the nice pretty little rotor on there too. What's next is bleeding these brakes. I'm gonna probably gonna run a good bit of brake fluid through there, just so I know that it is air free. So, and what I'll do is I'll use a vacuum bleeder. Alright, so now everything's complete. Bled the brakes, got the line on, got the caliper and the rotor, everything's ready to go. All I gotta do is do the other side now. But be sure when you go to bleed these brakes that you start with this back bleeder here. Start with the back bleeder and then go to the front. That's the best way to get it done, and make sure your bleeders are up top, not on the bottom side. But other than that, pretty simple. Now on to the next side.